to Rawlio's World. This is another edition of Rawlio. This is not my kitchen. I am actually in the kitchen of Mr. Steve Little.
Who is much too tall for this video.
Let's put it up there. Take two. So, what are we cooking today?
Today we are going to be cooking tabbouleh, a Middle Eastern dish, traditionally cooked with bulgur wheat, but today we're using quinoa.
Nice. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to be kind of moving the... So we're going to go about there, which is actually pretty good.
So here we've got our bag of quinoa from Bulk Barn, red organically grown quinoa.
Red organically grown, not Hungarian.
We're going to measure out 1 cup of quinoa.
We get some crazy light here. That's okay.
2 cups of water. 2-to-1 ratio.
2-to-1 ratio.
So we've got the quinoa in. Now we're going to get 2 cups of water. There you go. Pour that right into this pot. Put a lid on it. Put it up to high. Wait for it to boil.
What do we use quinoa for?
Well, quinoa is a grain.
Mm-hmm.
And the neat thing about quinoa is that it's a complete protein in and of itself.
Proteins are good.
You don't need to eat this with, like you eat wheat with legumes to make a complete protein. Quinoa is complete protein in and of itself.
Very, very healthy. Ketchup involved in this one.
No ketchup. No,
nice.
we will be using tomatoes, though. Real live tomatoes from the garden, which you will see coming up next.
So we are going
out to the garden. We're going to get parsley.
Yes.
Tomatoes.
Uh-huh.
A cucumber if we can find one.
Cucumber if we could find one.
And maybe some chives.
All right, let's go.
Let's go.
So, all right, so we have lots of garden.
Oh, I forgot. We've got one other ingredient, mint.
Mint. Okay, so gardening.
Get some of these little guys, some of these cherry tomatoes off here.
Yes, you see little tiny cherry tomatoes. So what kind of fertilizer? Is it just straight compost from like...
We use compost from the garden and we grow something called comfrey. We'll show you comfrey in a moment. You can put it in a bucket of water for 3-4 weeks. It stews up like tea. It smells like manure. Put it on your plants. Beautiful tomato. The Cherokee purple. Look at the color of that.
Wow.
That's ripe. Beautiful. The green shoulders, brownish red bottoms. Beautiful. Lots of flesh, not very many seeds. You get your money's worth.
Nice.
Good taste too.
Okay. We are looking for comfrey. Swing. Past the swing, we have...
Get rid of some grapevines in our way.
All right.
Now that's a big comfrey leaf.
Oh.
So these leaves, you can fill up like a Home Depot pail, fill it up with water, leave it out in the sun for 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It'll start to rot. It smells real nasty, but this will provide perfect fertilizer for your peppers, your tomatoes, any of your fruiting plants and flowering plants. Yeah, it's got a huge taproot. It goes deep into the soil to get potash and potassium that wouldn't be available to most plants, but it is absorbed by this plant and its taproot, and that provides perfect fertilizer for your vegetable garden.
Sweet. So this is the quinoa, and so you just wait till it all boils out.
You gotta turn it down a little bit till after it boils.
So we don't burn it. This
Failed
is
to mention that.
quinoa right here. Can you eat quinoa raw?
Well, you could, except this has been dried.
So it won't taste very good. Now we're going to watch some cutting. So I won't interrupt him because all we need on this is to have Steve cut his finger.
Well, that's why we curl our fingers under and use our knuckles as a guard against the blade of the knife.
So when you're cutting, you don't cut like this. You cut like this.
Yeah, I learned that watching cooking shows. However, a good friend of ours, Steve Campbell, paid thousands of dollars to go to culinary school to learn that.
Lots of people go to school to learn lots of things.
Sure. Cherokee purple.
Ooh.
It's a little blown out.
Ooh. Ooh.
And we've got Ultra Girl tomato.
I'm going to show without spilling. And it's the parsley and the mint, right?
Yeah, and some chives.
And some chives. Now we're doing the tomato, just dicing it. So when we dice this, what's the reason why dice?
Just for texture in the mouth.
So just for texture, you could chop them up chunky or not. Up to you. Yes? No?
Yeah, however you like it.
However you like it. James Barber. Steve's in the garden getting some extra ingredients to make a salsa. Okay, so we did some chopping, we did some cleaning, so where are we right now?
We've got all the herbs, we've got the mint, we've got the tomatoes, we've got the parsley and the chives all chopped up.
Okay.
We've cooked our quinoa, which is now a little bit bigger. Absorbed all that water, cooled it down, and we're going to add that in, Mr. Shan. Add away, if you will.
Okay, so we are adding quinoa to this, or this to quinoa?
Quinoa into the big bowl.
Put it in.
Lemon juice, using our fancy schmancy glass juicer. You can get one of these from Grandma. They're indispensable. If you think you can squeeze a lemon hard, you'll get more juice this way. So we're going to use 1 or 2 lemons. We'll see how much juice we get out of each.
1 or 2 lemons. He's squeezing the lemons. Lemon squeezy. So was that easy peasy?
It was, except we just got to watch the seeds here. I squeezed it. Alright, we're going to put a little bit of salt in.
Tiny bit of salt.
Now, Mr. Chan doesn't usually cook with salt. You need a little bit of salt.
Don't tell Linda.
Okay.
And we're adding freshly ground pepper.
Freshly ground pepper. That was one of the Oxford reject words.
Freshly ground?
Peppier.
Peppier?
The person whose sole job it is in a restaurant to ask people if they want pepper, kind of like a sommelier for pepper.
Peppier.
It's one of those Oxford
reject words?
Reject words.
Ah.
Pepperier or something. Yeah. And this doesn't work so well, so it looks like I'm putting a lot in here, but it's just a very cool pepper.
So the amount of pepper you put in is pretty much really up to you.
Yep.
Let's say a teaspoon. For those of you who need the exact ingredients.
So ingredient you put
ketchup?
Just no ketchup. Just a little bit of good old extra virgin olive oil.
E-O-V.
E-V-O-O, yeah.
E-V-O.
Oh!
E-V-O-O. Alright, so now we just mix it up. And then what's the next thing after this?
Eating.
Mmm. And so what do we eat tabbouleh with?
Well, it's a side salad. You might eat it with anything you like, really.
Sandwiches.
Yeah.
We can have it with crackers.
Have it with shawarma.
Shawarma.
What tabbouleh with your shawarma?
And this is what it looks like.
That's what it looks like, so it doesn't fall on the computer. Notice it's mostly greens, a little bit of grains.
Mostly greens. Some color.
There you go.
Nice.